Hello and welcome to another one of my videos. Now today I'd like to visit Norway and take a look at one of their Arctic field rations. This particular one is the kebab stew. So let's get this on a table and see what this pack contains. And so, as you can see, and now I've here on the table, this Norwegian Arctic field ration. Now this particular menu is the kebab stew, and it's just about on its expiry date of October 2021. So but it should still be plenty fresh enough. Now, as I've seen before, they come in a simple green polythene bag, relatively strong. They usually tear open in the corner. So there is the tear open, all the others are sealed. There's usually one corner where it's the tear strip. So let's just give this a pull and see what this pack actually contains. Now, being the Arctic field ration, they're nearly always freeze dried. Obviously makes sense, wet pouch foods will just freeze into an absolute solid block with no hope of defrosting them in Arctic conditions. So freeze dried makes sense. So straight off the bat we have the main meal, which is the kebab stew. So a nice large looking main meal there, the kebab stew. We also have some fruit soup. So there is a fruit drink there, 2 decilitres, which I believe is 200 millilitres of water needed to be added. We have a brownie real energy bar. We have a Colombian freeze-dried coffee. We have a US style cinnamon bun by Bridgeford. These Bridgeford buns seem to be getting in everything now. US, British, Norwegian and a lot of the European rations. We also have an energy drink with a taste of peach, so peach flavoured isotonic drink powder. There is a wet nap, a simplistic plastic spoon, 2 little pieces of real chewing gum, peppermint flavour, and a resealable little Ziploc bag for either rubbish or leftovers. So that is the contents of this Norwegian Arctic field ration kebab stew. So let's get these out on a tray and see what they look and taste like. And so, as you can see, and now I've here laid out on the tray the contents of this Norwegian Arctic field ration, the kebab stew, and with it being freeze dried it takes a little bit of preparation. So the first thing I'm going to do is start with the rehydrating of the main meal. Now it does come with its own little plastic spoon. I have used these before, they're not the greatest, they're not the best, and on 1 or 2 occasions I've actually snapped them stirring that. So I'm just going to put that to one side and use it on another occasion and bring in the good old trusty US MRE spoon. So it's a nice foil sealed bag, little tear strip at the top there. Very nice hiss on opening, don't know if you heard that. So usually it's got a little gusset on the bottom. Usually you just fill these to above the actual food level, and again I don't know if you can see that without spilling it, it is about just above the level of the food. So I just open this gusset up to break up the sealed lump a little bit. There is obviously rice and some kebab meat there. A little slight smell, not a lot of smell going on. And we'll just take this about to over the top of the food. Obviously you don't want to put too much in. You can always add, you can never take away. So give that a good mix, get that hot water down to the bottom. Get it as hydrated as I can. That's going to need a little bit more. It's a little bit dry already and it hasn't even started absorbing fully yet. Okay, so right down to those corners. And we'll just put that to one side there, so nicely mixed. It's worth spending just a few minutes making sure that water's got all the way down, and just leave it for 10 minutes now to do its thing. While that's doing its thing, we're going to take a look at the other things that need hot water. There is a fruit soup. Again, this requires 20 decilitres or 200 millilitres of boiling water. So I'm just going to guess that, give it my best guess. There is a nice smell of fruit, dried fruit, as you open that, and very strange looking mix. There is some actual pieces of fruit in there, and I'm just going to bring in a little old Russian spoon I've not used for a while and just give that about 200, what I guess is about 200 millilitres of boiling water. Again, I'm not going to overdo that. I can always add, and cannot take it away. That's thickening already. Just rinsed my spoon there. We are going to now go to the other hot drink, which is the Polder Mill Colombian freeze-dried coffee. There's no whitener, no sugar in this ration, so it's just black coffee as is. I've had these a few times before. Some very simple large brown granules there. Again, gives its best option. We'll just give it about half a mug of water. As I say in all my videos, I like to give it the best possible chance of flavour. A lot of these rations, they're done for economy, so it's always not the best coffee or the best teas. And finally, we have an energy drink with a taste of peach. Again, this one's got the fill line, 300 millilitres of water. Now, I've had these before. Often they are sticky and it sticks to the inside of the pouch, but I still normally empty it into the glass. This time I'll mix it in the pouch to see if that has any difference. As you can see, again, it is a sort of sticky, lumpy texture. Unfortunately, there don't appear to be any gusset on the bottom of this pouch, so it's got to be best guess. So I'm just going to pour in. There is a fill line on the packet, so I'm pouring up to the fill line. Hopefully that will seal now. Hold it down and we'll give that a good shape. Let's see if that's done enough. So still a little bit of the powder in there, but so we can get all of those dregs in there. I'm going to continue going around opening. I'm going to take a look at the brownie energy bar, the real brownie on the go energy bar. Again, I've had these before as well. A lot of these rations, they repeat the contents. It's often just the mains that you've not had before. So it's a nice little crispy shelled energy bar. And the cinnamon bun, the Bridgeford cinnamon bun. Now I've had these also many times, they never change. They're in so many rations. Bridgeford is such a mass producer of these for many rations, both in the US and in Europe. And last but not least, there is a couple of little chewing gums, peppermint. Just take the corner off that. Now I'm going to come back to this, give it another stir. It won't be ready yet, it's only had about 5 minutes, but it's going very dry, so I can give that a little bit more water. I can see it needs a bit more water. Good mix. And I think I'm even going to be tempted to give it a little touch more. I don't mind the meals with a slight gravy, slightly on the moister side. Okay, so let's have another good mix. We'll seal that up. And let that carry on doing its thing. Now, unusually, I'm going to start by going through all of the sides, just to give that an extra 5 minutes to rehydrate. Start off with the Polder Mill coffee. I said I had this many times before. I've heard many people say that this is a nice, decent coffee. Personally, it's slightly bitter. Even with half a cup, it is slightly weak. It's not an espresso by any means. It is an instant. I'm no coffee connoisseur, but in the UK we are spoiled. We have so many instant coffee brands, and there are some really good ones here in the UK. So when I get these in the ration, I'm always comparing against that. Polder Mill in the UK is a cheap style instant coffee, not the best. Certainly would benefit some milk and sugar, in my opinion. It is a coffee flavoured style drink, but for my own personal taste and experiences, not one of the best out there. Now, my fruit soup has thickened. It's gone nice and thick. Let's just give that a little try there. Wow. There is a taste of citric in there. It's sharp. It bites in your cheeks, makes your cheeks pull in. But there is the taste of apple. Little apple chunks. Very difficult to distinguish any other fruit in there. Certainly apple. Beyond that, there's not a lot of flavour of what it might be. But it's thick. It's fruit flavoured. There is fruit pieces in there. It's a hot, refreshing, fruit enriched drink. Now I'll have a look at this fruit energy drink. Peach energy drink. Nice taste of peach. Sweet, refreshing, good peach energy. There's not the sliminess you sometimes get with energy drinks or isotonic drinks. It is a very nice peach flavoured cold drink. Now usually I'm going to, as I said, I'm going to leave the mains till last. Normally I would always do the mains first before any sort of dessert or pudding, but I'm still waiting for that to constitute. So I'm going to move on to the fudge brownie. So seen a few times before now. It's crispy, sort of rice crisps with some chocolate. Not overflowing with flavour. The chocolate is there, which is in the background. It's mainly a rice crisp with some cocoa powder.
Certainly not unpleasant. Without any other sweetness, it would certainly be welcome. Crispy, chocolate background flavour, a nice little energy boost. Personally, it wouldn't be one that I'd go to a store to buy, but if I've got it, I would certainly eat it. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just not wonderfully exciting, in my opinion. And again, these cinnamon buns, as always, it's soft but dry. Very dry. Sweet, cinnamon, filling, stodgy. I usually like to put on some jam or some Nutella. Sometimes these rations come with nut pastes or little packets of jam, or in the British ORPs you often get the fruit purees, and again those on there just to moisten it up, just something to give it a little bit of moisture would really help. You can also heat them, but as they are, again, cinnamon flavoured, not overly exciting, but they're soft, they're filling, a little taste of cake. In my opinion, again, just needs a little bit more moisture, a little bit of jam or a little bit of Nutella or something along those lines, and it makes a very nice, enjoyable dessert. I'm going to come back to this kebab stew now. It has had about the 10 minutes, so let's give it a little bit longer. I'll take a look at the disinfectant wipe. I've got sticky fingers, so I'll do the disinfectant wipe now. These ones actually contain ethanol, so they are actually alcohol based. Very, very much like a medical. It's flammable, so you'd better use it to get a fire going. So, moist, wet, that distinguishable smell of alcohol. Could be a 70% ethanol. Very wet, very moist, very cleansing, and probably one of the most disinfecting wipes out of any ration because of the alcohol content. Does feel like it's cleaning, does feel like it's sterilising, nice and wet. Not the strongest out there, but it does hold together to do its intended job. Little smell of alcohol, but instantly evaporates, nice and dry, and the smell is now gone. So, the kebab stew, I'm just going to bring in a bowl. Obviously you'd eat this out of the pouch, but as I say, I have, so I can, so I will use a bowl. It's also much better for demonstration. Huge bowl, a huge portion. Very difficult to see on the camera, but it has filled that bowl to the top. So let's just break it up a little bit. As you can see, there is rice, looks like peppers, bits of kebab meat. I think it's chicken kebab. I didn't really read, but I think it's chicken. So I'll start off with the rice, see how that's reconstituted. That rice has texture, has flavour. There is a rich meat style gravy. There was a little bit of heat there, a small amount of spice, tiny bit of background chilli I would suggest. That rice is just cooked, still got texture. Let's try a little bit of the meat. Very difficult to get it off a spoon. Try a little bit of the kebab meat. Reconstituted well. There is, as I say, a little background kick, a little bit of chili kick, but not a lot. Not a lot. It's very delicately done, very nicely flavoured. tasty, warming, filling. I would say a tomato style gravy sauce with meat. There is, that might be a little piece of tomato there. Tasty, tasty, tasty. Just the right amount of heat, certainly lots of flavour, salt, pepper, nice, nice, nice main meal. Really enjoyable. Just need to refresh my palate there. And last but not least, let's take a look at this real gum. I've used my wet nap, so I've got it all over my fingers now, but little bit of spearmint gum or peppermint gum. There are two, just say peppermint, 2 little briquettes. Crispy shell, soft gum, plenty of peppermint oil. I wouldn't suggest the peppermint flavour would last long. It doesn't seem like a long lasting gum, but certainly there's enough mint oils, mint flavour in there to refresh your palate after a spicy, slightly spicy, flavoursome dish. So, overall, very impressive, enjoyable single meal ration. The coffee is not the best in my opinion, and the sides I've had many times before. A little addition of a little bit of jam or something to moisten the cinnamon bun there would have been a great help. But overall, there is nothing distasteful, nothing that you wouldn't enjoy out on a cold Norwegian winter's day. So I'm going to leave it here. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, subscribe and hit that notification button for future videos coming very soon. So thank you and goodbye.